Hi guys, what's good? I don't have an intro yet, so I'm just gonna go with that. But yeah, this is gonna be a video about my experience doing 75 hard. I finished 75 hard last week. I finished it quite well as well, climbing Ben Nevis, so stay tuned for the end of the video and you'll see my journey doing Ben Nevis. But yeah, if you don't know who I am, my name's Laurel or LXR Calisthenics. I make videos on TikTok, Instagram and YouTube Shorts, and now I'm starting to branch out into the long form content that you see today. And I make videos vlogging my experience going from beginner to expert in lots of different areas, starting with calisthenics, also running, bouldering, futsal, weight training, swimming. I do a lot. Some might say I do too much, but I just do what I enjoy. And I recently just showed my experience every single day going through 75 hard. So if you want to check that out, then go over to my YouTube Shorts, Instagram or TikTok, and you can see my journey from start to finish. But in today's video, I'm going to explain my whole journey, things I learned from it, things I found challenging, things I found easy. So a little bit of context if you don't know what 75 hard is. It's a mental toughness challenge that you do with 6 or 7 rules to it. So the first rule / second rule is you have to do 2 45-minute workouts a day, and one of them has to be outdoors. No matter what the weather is, you got to go out there and just firm it. I had a few days where I was running out in the rain. So yeah, that's the first rule. Second rule is you have to follow a diet of some sort. My diet was quite generic, so I was staying away from all forms of sugar, all sugary foods, and anything that you would look at and just say that is unhealthy. So fast food, any snacks like crisps or whatever. The next rule is you have to drink a gallon of water every single day, which is like 3.8 litres, but I was just going with 4 litres. And the next rule is you have to read 10 pages of a non-fiction book every single day. Next rule is you can't drink any alcohol. I don't drink alcohol anyways, that's just something that I never picked up. So for myself to make it more challenging, I said no fizzy drinks instead. And then the last rule is that you have to take 1 progress picture every single day. So I'll start off with the rules that I found easier. I'd say drinking a gallon of water a day sounds crazy, it sounds really hard, but once you get into it, it actually gets quite easy. There's different ways you can approach it. You can approach it with small water bottles, 500 milliliters this is, so if you drink 8 of those, then you're golden. You can go for the 1 litre bottles and drink 4 of those. Or you can go for the 2 litre bottles and drink 2 of those. I did try all 3 of those methods, and I preferred using 1 litre bottles. They're always closer to finishing the bottle. And I either work from home or I work in an office, so I'm always close to a tap. And on top of that, it's also harder to carry around a huge bottle like this. So yeah, I think the 1 litre approach, if you were to do the challenge, is definitely my favourite, but experiment, see what's best for you as well. The second thing that I found quite easy was reading. I'm not a reader. I've dabbled in a few books here and there. I tried to get into reading in the past, but I really struggled. But I think 10 pages a day is really doable, and that's something that 75 Hard's actually taught me in general, not necessarily with just 10 pages, but when you're setting yourself goals, it's harder to stay motivated when you're so far from your goal. And if your eyes are just fixed on that far goal, then it's harder to stay motivated with every little step you have to take on the way. So that's what happened with me in reading in the past. I tried to read like chapters a day, and I struggled, I got bored, tired, and I've only finished like 2 books in my lifetime before. And just doing 75 Hard, I beat that. So the first book I read was Atomic Habit. It helps set your mindset for starting the challenge, getting into the habit of doing 2 workouts a day, sticking to your diet, etc. Very good book. And then the next 2 books I read weren't really self-help books in that way. They weren't really motivating my 75 Hard. They were just something that I was interested in. So the second book was Sapiens. I'm quite interested in history, and I've had that book for a while and never started it, so I wanted to just give it a go. And then the next book I read, which I'm halfway through now, is This Is Your Brain on Music, Understanding the Human Obsession. And this was just a personal preference of a book that I wanted to read. And the last thing, which I think is the most obvious one that you'd find easy, is taking a progress picture a day. I did mine at the end of every day, so just before I went to bed, I took a progress picture. Now, one of the things I found most challenging was the diet side of things. So I was never really a sweet tooth person. I'm not someone who eats a load of rubbish all the time. I'm quite healthy in general, but not having the freedom at first wasn't too hard, but after, 50, 60 days, it gets to you. But I think me not being a sweet tooth person to begin with, me being quite healthy in general, I think definitely made it easier for me than it would for other people. And linking to that, the fizzy drinks as well. I mean, I just stayed away from going out to bars and pubs and things because, well, 1, I can't eat anything there, 2, I can't really drink anything there. But in the few moments that I did end up being in those situations, I had to ask for water at the bar. I think me not drinking alcohol also made it easier for me. But yeah, I'd definitely say dieting and the fizzy drink side of things were definitely quite hard for me. The next one I found hard was 2 45-minute workouts a day. I think the hardest part is making it fit with your everyday life. Luckily, most of my job I work from home, like 3 to 4 days a week. So on days where I was working from home, it was easier to fit it in with my life. I could, go and train in my garden at lunchtime, go for a run in the morning, I go to the gym in the morning. All those things I could do in my everyday life with the normal times I wake up. But on days where I had to go into the office is like an hour and a half drive from me, so I'd have to wake up even earlier. I think with how hard it was for me in a privileged situation with my job, I can't imagine how hard it would be for someone who works a standard 9 to 5 every day in the office or at your work site or wherever you work, this challenge would be so hard for you to fit around your everyday life. Something that helped me with doing this is planning my days ahead. The night before, I would plan the day after. Say I'm waking up at 6 o'clock, I'm gonna go swim in the morning. I'll be out there by 7:30, then I'll get home, eat breakfast, I'll work. Lunchtime, I'll go for a run. I'll also fit the water in there, so I'll say by lunchtime, I want to have finished 1 bottle of water. I promise you, planning is crucial in this challenge. I had a few days where I just freestyled, and then I ended up having to train at like 11 at night because I couldn't find time anywhere else. And then linking to that, I also found the one workout outside every single day very hard as well at times. I live in the UK. It rains so much and it's so unpredictable. If you also live somewhere like the UK where the weather is literally bipolar, then as soon as you see sun outside, train outside as soon as you can. Don't wait, because if you wait, it will start raining soon. I had that a few times. I can't remember the amount of times that I ended up running outside. And not only that, when you're running, you have to run for 45 minutes. So 45 minutes in the rain. Or if you're training outside, going to a calisthenics gym outside or something, you have to do that in the rain. You know, the bars are slippy. It's challenging. So try and catch the sunshine. If you're going to do the challenge, I'd also recommend to do it in summertime because you got more chance of getting a bit of sun there. Overall, I'd say this challenge was very difficult, not only physically, but mentally as well. Physically, you have no rest days, so you have to kind of balance out your training. I wouldn't go bouldering and train upper body on the same day. I'd mix leg training with upper body training, with cardio, with core, with yoga. Oh my god, yoga, I promise you. If you're gonna do 75 hard, start doing yoga. It's actually a lifesaver. It's good for recovery, it's good for practicing your breathing. Yoga, I've discovered it in 75 hard. I'm gonna do it so much now. Another thing that was physically challenging before I get into the mental was I was ill for like a week and a half, 2 weeks during the challenge. You don't get rest days. So if you're ill, you still gotta train outdoors. If it's raining and you're ill, you still gotta train outdoors. But the good thing about 75 hard is that you don't have to, you know, do a crazy workout every single day. You can go for a walk, you can do yoga, all these sorts of things that you can do as opposed to, you know, exhausting your whole body. This is more of a mental toughness challenge than a physical toughness challenge. Although it is tough for the physical, after 75 hard, it's safe to say I've definitely developed more mentally than I have physically. So I was coming to the end of my 75 hard and I thought, you know, I've got to end off with a bang. And what better way to end a journey as hard as 75 hard is than climbing the highest mountain in all of the UK. So I reached out to my friend Roel and asked him if he wanted to come with me. He was up for it, I was up for it. We booked our tickets to go to Scotland, stayed in Glasgow for the night. On day 74, I woke up, I went for a run in the morning. I have no idea where I'm running, but I'm just running. Then after that, we got a train over to Fort William, which is a small town right next to Ben Nevis. Stayed in the Premier Inn. I read my 10 pages. Before we went to bed, we went and picked up our equipment for the next day. Then we had a good night's rest, woke up, had breakfast, and the journey started. I like this gradient.
Gradient, yeah.
If we stick to this, then we're alright. Starting off the hike, we was both excited, all pumped, ready to go. It was actually Roel's first time ever climbing a mountain. I've climbed Snowdon and Scafell Pike, and now this was the last of the 3 peaks that I had to complete, the 3 highest peaks in the UK. Hello there. Yeah, they're living their best life, man. I'm already starting to hate these steps though. Oh, nice. If only the whole walk was on this bridge. Elevator. Elevator, yeah, that's what we need. It's like that news thing you sent me yesterday. I'm annoyed there's no elevator. I'm annoyed there's no McDonald's, it's too high. Barely even like a third of the way there, not even that. Hello Gary. You alright? Tried some Highland Scotland water. What's the verdict?
It's water, man.
It's water?
Water. I like it. It tastes crispy, though.
Does it?
Yeah. Buxton #1 British water. Get rid of that. This is Scottish water. Pretty good. Pretty fresh.
Out of 10?
Out of 10, I'll give it a 7.5. 7.5.
Look at that. That is amazing. Probably can't even hear me talk. Oh god, yeah. Even got service up here. They got Vodafone. Yeah, this is crazy. But this view is mental. Then we started getting into the clouds. How long we got left to go? Been walking for so long, we're only at the bottom of the mountain. What is this? Yeah, we've got a long way to go.
An hour. If we keep going, an hour.
Then after that we started getting into the clouds. In the clouds we saw our first snow.
The weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. If there's no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Now at this point my legs were exhausted. I also think the run on the day before in Glasgow didn't help me. But yeah, there I was, my legs were dying. But there was no way I was going to stop. Who's going to carry the boat? Who's going to carry the boats? And the logs? Visibility is a negative.
It is. That's the sit rep. Give it a sit rep.
Visibility 0 meters. Hold. Temperature is like -20. Oxygen levels 2%.
Power and free. Is it? Oh no. I don't have gloves, I can't compete. One thing as well, I don't even know if this GoPro can hear us right now. I've never tried it with this case on. What if the audio is just non-existent? Then we saw some people coming down and we asked them how long we had left, and they said to us that they decided not to go the full way because the winds at the top, they said, was terrible and they couldn't handle it. They was wet, they just wanted to go back. Can't be that bad at the top, can it?
We got this, man. Not long left, to be fair.
I thought the wind was going to blow me back home. It was cold, but we kept at it and we eventually got to the top. The top pedestal thing that you stop at, I don't know what they're called, but yeah, really icy around that, so it was dangerous. I was scared that I was going to slip and crack my head open. Managed to get to the top, winds blowing us all over the place. We stopped, we took pictures, and then we just got straight back down. The whole way up, we were stopping every now and then, having little breaks, but for the way down, we didn't want to stop. Just wanted to get home before it got dark. Nearly at the bottom. My legs are literally shaking. Oh my god. Tell you something. I've done Snowdon. I've done Scaffold Bike. Ben Nevis, definitely the hardest. But yeah, nearly down now. Got back to the hotel. I still had one workout to do, so I did yoga again while Roel took our equipment back to where we'd got them from. Second workout done, I read my 10 pages after that, finished the 4 litres of water, got dinner, and we was entitled to a dessert with our dinner package. Obviously I couldn't eat it the day before. On this day I took my dessert and I put it in a box and I left it in my hotel room until the clock struck midnight. As soon as it struck midnight I had a brownie. It was the best brownie I've ever had in my whole life. And then the day after we head back home. It was an amazing trip. I'm very happy that I managed to climb to the top of Ben Nevis. So that was like a week ago. For this last week I felt like midlife crisis, in the middle of limbo, no purpose. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? And I won't lie to you, I've eaten so much rubbish, like KFC, McDonald's, Domino's. Yeah, I haven't been healthy, and because of that, I would say if you're looking to do 75 hard because you want to lose weight or you want to stop drinking alcohol or just fix your diet in general, I would say that it's probably not for you. Do something more gradual. Don't try and jump into the deep end where you deprive yourself of everything for 75 days. It's a challenge, I promise you, and you get cravings that you've never had before, and at the end of it, you just want to unleash, have everything under the sun. I wouldn't say 75 hard's for you if you want to stop, eating rubbish. But after 75 hard, this limbo feeling that I'm getting it's making me want to just do so much more. I don't know if it's the purpose of 75 hard, but I feel like I just want to be as productive as ever. I've set myself goals. I've wrote up New Year's resolutions already. It's November. I've signed up for half marathons next year and everything. I'm just on it. I'm starting training as well today. I bought new running trainers. I've started practicing piano more because I want to go through the grades, which I never did. I'm continuing reading this book, and I've bought another book that I'm reading at the same time. I'm reading multiple books. I think what 75 hard has made me realise, especially after this period now where I'm just like, what do I do with my life? I want to be more productive. So I think that's one thing that 75 hard's definitely done for me. Also, drinking water. Crazy how much water I'm drinking now. I'm just in the habit of drinking water throughout the day. My skin's clear, I'm loving life, I'm feeling healthy, even after all the rubbish I've been eating this week. And also something I'm going to be more productive with is this whole YouTube thing. So I'm going to make more videos talking about experiences, giving tips and guides, showing my training. I'm doing a marathon next April, so I'm going to make a video showing my training, building up to the marathon from today. Yeah, I'm aiming to do at least one video a month, maybe more. So if you've made it this far in the video, then I'd definitely say stick around, subscribe. It's a pleasure to have you here. I show everything, so I show my whole journey. You'll see me go from how I am now to in 4, 5, 6, 7 years down the line where I'm at. I try to be relatable. I'm not a know-it-all. I'm not some, influencer, but I'm learning as I go along, and I want to take you on that journey as well so you can learn with me. But yeah, if you have any more questions about 75 hard and you want me to make a follow-up video on this, then I'm happy to do so. Just leave them in the comments below. If you want to see more regular vlogs as well with my training, then make sure you go over to my other platforms. Yeah, thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you next time.